clouding her judgment. Shewa began secretly plotting, thinking of ways to take away Omiyemi's gift. Welcome to African Tales by Nella. Subscribe, like and share. In the beautiful village of Akrali, nestled by the shores of a vast and shimmering ocean, lived a kind and gentle girl named Omiyemi. The people of the village loved Omiyemi dearly because of her sweet nature and her incredible gift. She had the rare ability to hear the voice of Yemoja, the mother of the ocean. Yemoja would speak to her through the sound of the waves, whispering words of wisdom and guidance about the deep sea, the rivers, and all the creatures living in the waters. Omiyemi would spend hours by the shore, listening carefully to the gentle waves and Yemoja's calming voice. She learned the ways of the ocean, its moods, and how to protect it. Omiyemi shared these teachings with the people of Akrali. She taught them to respect the ocean, to take only what they needed, and to protect the creatures that called the sea home. The villagers listened to her and respected the ocean more deeply because of her wisdom. But not everyone was happy about Omiyemi's special gift. Omiyemi's best friend, Shewa, had always felt a strange mix of admiration and jealousy toward her. Shewa loved Omiyemi, but she didn't understand why her friend was the one who could hear Yemoja's voice and share her wisdom. Why does Omiyemi have the gift of the ocean? Why not me? Shewa would often wonder. The more Shewa watched Omiyemi, the more the feeling of jealousy grew inside her. She wanted to hear the ocean herself. She wanted to feel Yemoja's guidance, and most of all, she wanted to be special, just like Omiyemi. At first, Shewa tried to hide her jealousy. She smiled when Omiyemi shared stories about the ocean. She listened as Omiyemi spoke about the beauty of the sea and how Yemoja helped them all. But in her heart, Shewa felt a deep emptiness. I could be just as important as Omiyemi if I had the gift of the ocean, Shewa thought to herself. But instead of asking Omiyemi how to connect with Yemoja, Shewa's feelings of jealousy grew darker, turning into anger. She began to feel that Omiyemi's gift was something she should have, and that if she couldn't have it, Omiyemi shouldn't have it either. One day, when Omiyemi was sitting by the beach, listening to the waves, Shewa made up her mind. If I can't hear the ocean, then Omiyemi shouldn't either, she thought, her jealousy clouding her judgment. Shewa began secretly plotting, thinking of ways to take away Omiyemi's gift. The first plan that came to Shewa's mind was simple. If Omiyemi gets hurt, maybe the ocean will stop speaking to her, she reasoned. One sunny afternoon, Omiyemi went down to the beach alone, as she often did, to sit near the waves and listen to Yemoja. Shewa quietly followed her from a distance, hiding behind the trees. She had a large rock in her hands, intending to sneak up behind Omiyemi and strike her with it, hoping to knock her out. As Shewa approached Omiyemi, her heart pounded with nervousness. She raised the rock above her head, ready to strike, but just before she could bring it down, the ocean itself seemed to speak. Omiyemi heard a soft whisper, almost like a breeze in her ear, "Shewa, stop. Do not harm your friend. The ocean will protect her." Omiyemi turned around and saw Shewa standing there, holding the rock. "Shewa, why are you holding that?" Omiyemi asked, her voice gentle and confused. Shewa's hands trembled. Her heart sank in guilt. She had been caught, and for the first time, she realized how far her jealousy had taken her. I'm sorry, Omiyemi. I don't know what came over me," Shewa stammered, her face flushed with shame. Omiyemi looked at her with kindness and said, "I forgive you, Shewa. The ocean forgives you too." Shewa dropped the rock, too ashamed to say anything more, and ran off into the forest, her tears falling silently behind her. She knew she had made a terrible mistake. Days passed, but Shewa's jealousy didn't fade. In fact, it grew stronger. She couldn't forget that Omiyemi had been chosen by the ocean to hear its voice. It wasn't fair. I deserved the gift of the ocean, not her, Shewa thought bitterly. This time, Shewa came up with a more dangerous plan. Shewa had heard rumors about a venomous snake that lived deep in the forest near Akrali. The snake was known for its deadly bite, and Shewa thought that if she could somehow lead it to Omiyemi, she might succeed in taking away Omiyemi's gift. If Omiyemi was bitten, she would be too weak to listen to Yemoja. One afternoon, Shewa snuck into the forest, found the snake, and carefully led it out toward the river where Omiyemi often walked. Shewa hid behind a tree, waiting for Omiyemi to come by. As soon as Omiyemi stepped onto the path, the snake slithered toward her, hissing loudly. But just as the snake lunged at Omiyemi, the river began to swirl. The water grew restless, and with a powerful force, it swept the snake away, trapping it in the current. Omiyemi was untouched. Yemoja! Omiyemi cried out, realizing that the ocean had saved her once again. Yemoja's voice echoed in her mind, "The ocean will protect you, Omiyemi. Shewa's jealousy cannot harm you." Shewa watched in disbelief as the snake was carried away, helpless against the power of the ocean. Her plan had failed again. Shewa was desperate. She could no longer bear the sight of Omiyemi with her gift. "If I can't take the gift from her, then I'll make her lose it herself," Shewa thought. She decided to take a new approach. This time, she would trick Omiyemi into angering Yemoja herself. Shewa convinced Omiyemi to take a walk along the farthest reaches of the beach, where the waves were strongest. The water in that part of the beach was known to be treacherous, with powerful waves that could pull anyone who ventured too close into the deep water. Shewa led Omiyemi to the dangerous spot, all the while hiding her intentions behind a sweet smile. "Omiyemi, come with me," Shewa urged. "I found something amazing by the water, let's go see it together." Omiyemi, trusting her friend, followed her down to the edge of the shore. As they walked, Omiyemi started to feel uneasy. The waves were large and loud, crashing against the rocks. "I think we should turn back, Shewa," Omiyemi said, her voice trembling. But Shewa pushed forward, leading Omiyemi closer to the water. "Just a little farther," she urged. "It's not that dangerous." Suddenly, Shewa shoved Omiyemi into the waves, hoping the ocean would take her away. But as Omiyemi fell into the water, the ocean reacted. The waves rose high but did not harm her. Instead, they carried Omiyemi back to the shore, safe and sound. Omiyemi gasped, her heart racing. "Yemoja," she cried out in relief. "Thank you, Mother of the Ocean." Yemoja's voice spoke softly but firmly, "Shewa's jealousy cannot harm you, Omiyemi. The ocean will protect you always." Shewa stood on the shore, trembling with fear. She had failed again. Shewa's jealousy had consumed her completely. She could no longer hide the darkness in her heart. "Why can't I have the ocean's gift?" she cried out in despair. "Why does Omiyemi deserve it and not me?" In that moment, the ocean spoke to her directly. The waves swirled around Shewa's feet, and a voice, calm but powerful, whispered in her ear, "Jealousy and anger only hurt the one who holds them. If you want the ocean's gift, you must first open your heart." Shewa fell to her knees, overwhelmed by the truth in Yemoja's words. "I'm sorry," she whispered, tears falling from her eyes. "I didn't understand. I was wrong. Please forgive me, Omiyemi." Omiyemi gently helped her up and smiled. "I forgive you, Shewa. The ocean forgives you too. The gift of the ocean is not something you can take. It is a bond, a love that grows with kindness and respect." From that day on, Shewa no longer felt jealousy in her heart. She understood that the ocean's gift was not about power, but about love, kindness, and listening. She apologized again to Omiyemi, not with words this time, but with actions. Shewa started helping Omiyemi clean the shores, plant trees near the rivers, and care for the animals of the water. She listened when Omiyemi shared what Yemoja had taught her. Even though she couldn't hear the ocean's voice, she could feel the peace it brought just by being close to it. The villagers saw the change in Shewa. They were surprised but also happy. Omiyemi forgave her truly, and the two became close friends once again, but this time, their friendship was stronger than before. It was built on honesty and trust. One quiet evening, while the sun set over the waves, Omiyemi and Shewa sat by the ocean together. The sky was painted with orange and pink, and the water sparkled like diamonds. Suddenly, a soft breeze touched their cheeks, and the waves hummed a gentle song. Omiyemi closed her eyes. She smiled. Then Shewa heard something. It was not a voice exactly, but a feeling, a warm, kind feeling in her heart. It was like the ocean was saying, "Welcome, child. You are listening now." She gasped and looked at Omiyemi. Omiyemi nodded and said, "Yemoja is happy. She sees the love in your heart." Shewa began to cry, not from sadness, but from joy. She didn't need to steal the gift anymore. The ocean had given her its own kind of gift, a heart that was ready to listen. Years passed. Omiyemi and Shewa grew into wise young women. They taught the children of Akrali to care for the water, to respect Yemoja, and to always be kind to one another. They became known as the daughters of the ocean, not because they had powers, but because they loved deeply, forgave truly, and listened with open hearts. And whenever the wind danced over the sea, and the waves whispered on the sand, the people of Akrali would smile and say, "Yemoja is watching, and she is pleased."